Good morning. I have the honor to present to you the crafted mission for this institution. First, I wrote it in this way: Marinduque State College, an institution of research, innovation, and inclusivity, driving positive imprint on society as it maintains stability on a global scale. This vision statement sounds familiar and almost redundant for more than a decade. Just like majority of us, we dream of making this institution known, not only locally, but of course, in a much bigger arena. Next slide. Then, we have to think globally, but of course, we have to act locally. Please back to the first slide. I have only added a simple word, and that is inclusivity. Since 2017, this term has been a buzzword in the workplace. The Department of Education, or DepEd, the organization where I belong, is going inclusive in a way that we provide learners with special needs an equal opportunity as those typically developing learners. Thus, if this is the practice in basic education, then institutions for higher education like this must be prepared for accommodating incoming sets of more diverse learners. This can be done by crafting policies and guidelines anchored on international laws and organizations like the United Nations Convention on the Right of the Child. Further, inclusivity as used in this vision refers to embracing people from various backgrounds. A concrete example of that is me, myself. In the official lineup of candidates, and maybe in the history of this institution, I have never heard a candidate coming from outside. And I thank the Board of Trustees for at least considering my application. Not only referring to me as a candidate, but of course, inclusion refers to allowing somebody who has the ability to contribute fully and effectively to an organization. To justify this claim, the result of several studies and researches in educational management and administration, they found out that school leaders coming from other disciplines like engineering, business, and military were found to perform as equally and even more effectively as those who came from the system itself. I am not reiterating this to favor my candidacy, but to emphasize as a part of my vision that venturing on these possibilities would further lead us to stability in a global scale. Let's move on to the mission. My mission is to provide sound learning experience for students grounded on effective communication, problem solving, and leadership skills with sense of accountability for higher learning outcomes, to cultivate a culture of empowering others by unlocking boundaries and embracing the possibilities of transforming the traditional corners of the college campus to a more state-of-the-art education institution. Actually, this mission is rooted to my personal experience from being a student, a classroom teacher, a school head, and an education supervisor. As a student, personal aspiration largely depend on the people I was exposed to. Teachers' motivation, encouragement, and competence constitute a great percentage of likeliness of the student to succeed. That same scenario has been proven when I was already a practitioner in the field of education. The true essence is that the kind of graduates we are producing reflect who we are. If given the chance to lead and administer this institution, foremost concern will be focused on developing mental model, leading to a much bigger sense of accountability for higher learning outcomes without violating academic freedom. Personal engaged instruction will be encouraged to emphasize to their students the value of learning. It should not be survival learning or adaptive learning, like taking information. Rather, it must be generative learning that enhances the capacity to create. The student must likewise be trained to discover through their own rational mind. The culture of empowering others is not dividing the rules and tasks and responsibilities among individuals in the organization. Rather, it is the interaction of leaders and those whom they lead. Like what we are having right now. Your questions, insights, and suggestions can be the best source in attaining our dreams. Again, adopting inclusivity is vital as to the involvement of both internal and external stakeholders. The same could be the generation of all necessary resources that would lead us in realizing the state-of-the-art higher education institution. Next slide. To specify my goals and objectives, first is responsive higher education services. Number one is actually my experience as a member of the Division Selection Committee of Teachers. When I interviewed applicants in teacher one position and even at the level of principal position, I found out that they need or we need to develop their soft skills. What are those? First, oral communication skills, initiative, and critical thinking. Let's move on. To instill high sense of accountability and performance, both internal and stakeholders. Being a part of the system, it is our legal and moral responsibility to provide an effective and efficient quality system. Next. And to invest on alternative delivery mode of teaching, like what we are having right now. How the college, how are we prepared for this pandemic like this? For students who have a valid excuse to be absent or live out of the school, what are our preparedness? Are we prepared for that? Yung nabuntis, 2 buwan na lang o 1 buwan na lang. Okay? And the meaningful research extension, let's move on. Letter E, to offer relevant courses that will suit the needs of the servant. Then, if possible, we will be offering special education major because we need that in the Department of Education. Likewise, edukasyon sa pagpapakatao because we need also a major of that, edukasyon sa pagpapakatao. Okay, we are not producing graduates like that. Under the number 4, client-centered services, letter A. Let's move on, number 4. Okay, to leverage client service management and moral stewardship, to intensify the program, the welfare prestige and reputation of the school workforce, and to strengthen ties with industry partners and job market for symbiotic gains. Under the internationalization program, number 5 is to revisit and anchor the curriculum on the demand of the global job market, and to establish or build relationship with the schools within the region and abroad, and to promote overseas study and exchanges. And as to my core values, I have already write this an acronym which said, first is service, excellence, and transparency. Thank you. Good morning.
Thank you very much. To our first applicant, Dr. Alvin Castillan Perlas. May I request our usher to kindly escort Dr. Perlas to the holding area. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, let us welcome our second applicant for the NSE presidency. Ladies and gentlemen, our applicant earned her Doctor of Philosophy degree, major in Curriculum and Supervision from the Centro Escolar University Manila, Associate Professor 5 and former Vice President for Administration and Finance of the Marinduque State College. Ladies and gentlemen, please acknowledge Dr. Liza Marie Magahis Manoas.
Born in the town of Mapol on August 9, some 52 years ago, is a woman of vision and one with evolutionary perspective. A graduate of Bachelor of Science in Industrial Education, major in Mathematics, earning a Special Academic Award at the Marinduque Institute of Science and Technology in 1989. She went on to pursue higher learning from the same institution, attaining her master's degree in education, major in educational management in 1997. The year 2000 was yet another year of adding feathers in her cap as she earned her diploma in mathematics teaching from the University of the Philippines Open University. Eventually, she went on to receive her Doctor of Philosophy, major in Curriculum and Supervision in 2010. Graduating with the highest academic award from the Centro Escolar University, continuing her quest to learn and to share knowledge, she has had a number of local research presentations that included host cities of the International Forum in Bangkok, Thailand, and to the Regional Center for Science and Mathematics in Penang, Malaysia. Being a woman of honor, she was blessed with various opportunities to sit in executive management positions as Secretary of the School of Education, Administrator of the Siton Canterbury Development School in charge of the Marinduque State College International Affairs Office, Director of the Marinduque State College Planning Office, Vice President for Administration and Finance of the Marinduque State College, Regional Coordinator of the Basic Education, Mathematics Teachers Society of the Philippines, Treasurer for the Mimaropa Region, PAFTEC. Capping all that is her being a sought-after senior accreditor for the Accrediting Agency for Chartered Colleges and Universities in the Philippines, or AACO. Her integrity is kept on being appreciated by the community, as she is often invited to be a resource or commencement speaker, cases advisor, and as a statistician for research studies. She has authored various researches that included the following: her being a values-oriented individual has earned her the acceptance of the society as an educator and as a competent professional. She foresees Marinduque State College becoming Marinduque State University as soon as time possible. Having the vision to be a total university serving with excellence and global standards. And the mission to be an institution of higher learning with global standard, committed to the total development of an individual through quality instruction, relevant researches, development-oriented extension activities, and increased production for sustainability and financial freedom under accountable governance and progressive leadership.
Marinduque State College exists to cater the academic needs of the learners. Its charter is to serve the poor but deserving students. Acknowledging the present realities at hand, it's time to revisit our values and design a new area of development, one where the status quo no longer exists. Thus, under my leadership, programs and projects of the college will help realize United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. As a result, the face of the new MSc, Marinduque State University by law, is now at the forefront in addressing cross-cutting issues that are relevant to all aspects of development. This is through developing globally competent and socially responsible MSCians, updating and upgrading competencies for lifelong learning, producing relevant research-based materials and analysis, collaboration with stakeholders extensively, providing opportunities for new funding streams, and guaranteeing an inclusive, equitable, and quality education for all, leaving no one behind. Within the framework of quality instruction, learners' competency shall meet the requirements set by globalization and the fourth industrial revolution through relevant and innovative curricular programs offered in accordance with the ASEAN Qualifications Reference Framework and other professional accreditation bodies like Bologna Accord, Washington Accord, Gulf Countries Council, and others. Industry exposure for experiential learning, development of communication competencies and social intelligence, and values formation and moral reshaping programs. In terms of research and extension programs, MSc shall convert its agenda to the relevance of program offering concerning areas such as defense and protection, engineering and technology, education and culture, health and wellness, governance and policy analysis, food security, and environmental protection. Research outputs will likewise develop into business ventures to generate income for the college. Existing production projects will continue and be subject for expansion. Demo farms will result to conversion to eco-agri-tourism site, expert services and development of learning materials, and entering into public-private partnerships. In the midst of digital transformations, MSc shall evolve its service delivery, pivot higher value roles, and harness technology with the MScian quality of service. A branded service which requires top-notch domain, digital skills, communication skills, service orientation, empathy, and affinity with diverse cultures. Instructional development system in all MSc campuses shall be established as centers of excellence for education, agriculture, engineering, and others. Academic linkages with businesses, industries, and duly recognized government and non-government organizations shall be strengthened. Among others, key developments of physical facilities include rehabilitation of MSc Macalaba branch, expansion of the School of Agriculture in Turios and School of Fisheries in Gasan, improvement of the MSc extramural for research and extension in Mokpong, construction or development of state-of-the-art sports complex for Pasok, Mimaro, Paraa, and other special events, which purpose is not only to host said events, but also to promote the province, and upgrading physical resources and laboratory facilities into a world-class standards. These engagements will help attain the Ambition 19-2014, anchoring national and local development plans of the country to enjoy a matatag, maginhawa at panatag na buhay in the post-pandemic era and beyond, not only for Marinduqueños but for all Filipinos. Marinduque having the lowest minimum wage rates in the Philippines and many unemployed individuals will be driven by the academics initiatives in transforming the province into a one-island economy as it takes part in the whole of government and whole of society approach. And while we address the completion of the requirements for MSc universityhood, now is the perfect time to explore roads that we have not taken and make MSc a total university serving with excellence and global standards. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Manoos, for presenting your vision, mission, and plans for the college. May I request our usher to please escort Dr. Manoos to our holding area. Ladies and gentlemen, let us welcome the third applicant for the MSc presidency. Our applicant earned his Doctor in Public Administration degree from the Polytechnic University of the Philippines, Manila. A college professor and currently the Vice President for Administration and Finance of the Marinduque State College. Ladies and gentlemen, please acknowledge Dr. Diosdado Pereda Zulueta.
Rising from the tides of crisis, from embassy to Marsu, with excellence and wisdom.
Climate change, environmental degradation, pandemics, recession, economic and technology wars are what we are facing today in this field of life, the new normal. At this juncture, we are going to shape the destiny of our Marinduque State College and to a full Marinduque State University. And because of this, I'm very honored to be with you today. A pleasant morning to each and every one of us. Where is my presentation? This is the present of what we are today with the aids of globalization. We need to face this in order to change the culture. Our vision. Our mission. In 2013, together, we made this dream through the high-minded vision of our very own speaker, Lord Alan Velasco. Now, the good speaker, joined by the father of our province, Governor Presbytero Velasco, working hand in hand to attain our common vision, mission, objectives to attain full-fledged university status before 2025. And this is the scenario of Marinduque State College now that I'll show you. This is how we make the gap and fill in the gap to this effect. There you are, the physical structure, the threads of the college, and this is what we're going to do.
Innovative, inclusive, and sustainable lifelong learning strategies under the new normal state of affairs. The instruction objectives upgraded all in-place programs before the end of 2024 to a higher level, obtain 100% of the in-place programs with COPCs and GAs. Improve the curricular programs by matching the needs of the society by preparing the students with entrepreneurial skills as business-oriented graduates rather than mere employees of public and private companies. Connect with the alumni of the college to open opportunities for employment and other collaborations. Implement flexible learning strategies in all instructional programs and extension services using the combination of digital social platforms, radio programs, and soft and hard copies of lectures and manuals. Increase the number of faculty with ISBN and copyrighted modules, books, and manuals in hard and soft copies using do-it-yourself formats to 49.73%. Improve the performance of the graduates in the licensure exams as much as possible above the national passing marks in all programs. Invite faculty members and lecturers from other universities and colleges to conduct lectures on specialized topics and management issues via Zoom, webinar, and other forms of audiovisual platforms on a quarterly basis. Embed the unique Marinduque culture by incorporating it across all curriculum and in the fourfold functions of the college. Embed an eco-friendly culture among students and faculty across all curriculum and in the fourfold functions of the college. Establish the School of Agriculture and the School of Engineering as centers for development. Goal 2. Research. To embed research productivity across all programs and activities to complement instruction, extension, production, and management. Research development objectives. Increase the number of faculty engaged in research by 25.14%. Increase the R&D budget of the college to match the 75,000 pesos per research budget through partnership and outsourcing activities, especially for bankable projects. Increase the number of faculty with published research outputs in reputable journals to 19.13%. Increase the number of faculty with patents to 20% and develop more viable technologies out of the province resources such as breadfruits, fruit crops, marine resources, native pig, herbal products, etc. through research that can be utilized by communities as source of income, at least one on a yearly basis. Nurture active partnership with DOST, DA, DTI, DENR, DOT, DOH, DAR, and other agencies of government in their regional and national consortia for funding of R&D projects. Establish the research and development centers for Philippine native pig, food processing, and the rehabilitation and management of former mining areas. Goal 3. Extension. To forge working partnerships with local and national governments and civil societies in empowering communities. Extension objectives. Increase the number of faculty engaged in extension work by 39% with the participation of the students. Increase the extension program budget of the college to 75,000 pesos per program through partnership and outsourcing activities. Implement and adopt a community program and research-based extension activities to to help the provincial government in organizing livelihoods and cooperatives out of the developed technologies of the college, at least 2 on a yearly basis. Help the provincial government in establishing ICT centers on marginalized or dead zone areas where internet connectivity is a problem that can be used by the students and the community as well. Goal 4. Production. To pursue robust income-generating programs geared to financial sustainability. Production objectives. Enhance and sustain financially performing IGPs by increasing their funding and income by 40%. Establishing product incubator and processing centers for production of viable and marketable products. Implement assistance to communities to utilize the developed technologies in their income-generating activities in partnership with the local and national governments, foundations, and civil societies. Goal 5. Administration and management. To build enduring human, social, and physical capital through networking with local and national governments, industries, and civil societies towards good governance. Administration and management objectives. Increase the number of faculty with doctorate degrees by 12.8%, while the rest shall be 100% master's degree holders. Increase the number of faculty with full professorship rank by 5%, though assistance in accreditation. Increase the number of non-teaching employees with permanent punctilia by 30% as the college's services increase towards university status to include also provision of educational development. Increase the number of faculty members with full scholarship grants in the foreign universities by 10%. Forge a strong internationalization of program by building networks with foreign universities and colleges at least 1 on a yearly basis. Sustain the ISO certification of the institution and strengthen other quality assurance measures such as ISA and PQA. Empower each campus and school with a bottom-up style of management and conduct regular consultation with the municipal and provincial governments and other stakeholders for the development program alignment. Conduct regular and transparent auditing of resources, the 5 M's of management on a quarterly basis with CSC, COA, and other concerned agencies with 100% compliance. Institutionalize the giving of CNAs and the giving of rewards and incentives to performing faculty and staff under the principle of good governance. Invest in building state-of-the-art physical capital for national and global competitiveness like the DOST Science Centrum and other eco-friendly, digitally intelligent technopark and laboratories for the advancement of learning and services for the college to its stakeholders.
Thank you so much. This is our values. We have to do it. Thank you for this opportunity to showcase what we're going to do for Marinduque State University. God bless us all.
Thank you very much, Dr. Zulueta, for presenting your vision, mission, and plans. May I request our usher to escort Dr. Zulueta to the holding area. Thank you. At this point, let us welcome the 4th and final applicant for the MSc presidency. Our 4th and final applicant earned her Doctor of Philosophy in Food Science degree from the University of the Philippines, Los Baños, Associate Professor 5, and currently the Vice President for Research, Development, Extension and Training of the Marinduque State College. Ladies and gentlemen, please acknowledge Dr. Maria Edelwina Monterrey Blase.
Many are the plans in a man's heart, but it is the Lord's purpose that always prevails. Proverbs 19:21. A blessed morning to all of you. Today, as one of the presidential aspirants, I am here to present to you my plans for the MSc community. My program is to continue building a globally oriented and digitally enabled MSc and engendering harmony amidst diversity to showcase Filipino pride in the ASEAN. The vision, a premier state university that is globally oriented and digitally enabled learning institution producing world-class, God-fearing professionals, building robust community-based partnerships, and implementing inclusive service to the institution, the community, and the country. The mission, the State College is committed to provide holistic, inclusive, and excellent student learning experience, create globally competitive professionals for a fast-changing and emerging world of business and industry, and establish partnership with public and private institutions, as well as other stakeholders for the development of the country. My set of core values is exemplified by the word stewardship. S is for servant leadership. T is for trustworthy and teachable. E, excellence and empathy. W, wellness in body, mind, and spirit. A, abiding and accommodating. R, resilient and resourceful. D, dedicated and disciplined. S, service with compassion and commitment. H, humility and harmony with God and fellow men. I, integrity and innovativeness. P, perseverance and patience. My agenda number 1 is to nurture academic excellence by building collaborative partnerships here and abroad. How can this be achieved? By establishing networks and linkages with other HEIs for exchange programs and fellowship grants to students, faculty, and other stakeholders by sharing knowledge and skills by 2021. Agenda 2, promote students' welfare and professional development by building a culture of academic excellence to qualify performance in PRC exams and foreign country qualifying exams by 2021 onwards. Agenda number 3, foster global creativity and competitiveness with focus on engineering, science and technology, and other related fields. So how can this be achieved? By establishing partnerships with other institutions in national and international levels to enhance global competitiveness in the different fields by 2022. Fourth, maximize support systems to teaching learning process employing appropriate and innovative technology by providing quality instructional materials, local, international, through a sustained e-library by 2021 onwards. Agenda number 5, pursue excellence in research by continuously investing in R&D initiatives supportive to industrialization by optimizing process to research grants from externally funded sources by 2021 onwards. Number 6, pursue excellence in extension and production-related activities by optimizing access to extension grants and outsourcing international sponsors and partners, integrating their roles in extension work, especially in seeking seed money for the beneficiaries and the marketing of their outputs by 2021 onwards. Agenda number 7. Pursue excellence in human resource management and organizational development by building the image of MSC anchored on the core values of stewardship, commitment, good governance, social responsibility, and accountability to provide professional and excellent services to stakeholders, clients, and community by 2021 onwards. Agenda number 8, enhancing financial autonomy through market-driven technopreneurial style of management based on Industry 4.0 by empowering each campus, each school or department, faculty, and personal associations to engage in robust entrepreneurial activities, existing infrastructure, and the different campuses of the college by 2021 onwards. And number 10, develop the college Center of Development and Center of Excellence in Research along the fields of education, agriculture, environment, technology, engineering, governance, and allied medicine in the region by promoting and sustaining research endeavors in the different fields that will bring about research expertise to create a center of development and excellence by 2021 onwards. In closing, all these plans and agenda can never be realized without God's enabling grace and power and without the commitment of each member of the Marinduque State College family. Let us always remember that we are stewards and we have a master in whom we are accountable. Let us always trust the Lord for wisdom and guidance. Life is a dream. Let's realize it. God bless you all po, and maraming salamat.
Thank you very much, Dr. Blase, for presenting your vision, mission, and plans for MSc. I request our usher to escort Dr. Blase to our holding area. At this point, we'd like to express our gratitude to our applicants for demonstrating their sincere intention to serve the people of Marinduque through the Marinduque State College. We wish them all the best in their future endeavors. At this point, ladies and gentlemen, we shall pause for a 15-minute health break to give time to our search committee for president to screen the questions for our applicants. In the meantime, we'd like to inform that this is the sequence of for the question and answer portion for the first part. For our stakeholders, first, the students' representative will ask the question. Second, the representative from the faculty association or federation. Third, the representative from the non-teaching personnel. Fourth, from the alumni group. And fifth, from the parents. So, yun po yung sequence ng pagtatanong mamaya per candidate. Ito. After which po, kapag nasagot na ni applicant yung 5 questions from each of the sectors, bubunot naman po sila ng 3 from the questions na galing sa audience and sasagutin po nila din within 2 minutes po. Same po with the questions from the sectoral representatives. Thank you. Health break po tayo. Meron pong gusto mag-CR. Mag-stretch muna ng kaunti dahil medyo matagal na tayo nakaupo. Ano po? And for those who would like to raise their questions, maybe we could reflect on the presentations of applicants for us to frame the questions for them later on. Thank you. Okay po. So, if you're done preparing your questions, some of our ushers and moderators will be collecting these questions for endorsement to the search committee for president, and they will be screening these questions for the question and answer round later on. Thank you. Again, we would like to reiterate the sequence for the questions from the sectoral representative. First, the student representative. Second, the faculty representative. Third, the non-teaching group representative. Fourth, the alumni representative. And fifth, from the parents group. And the local government units. Alright, thank you very much, everyone. We invite on stage the first applicant for the MSc Presidency, Dr. Elvin Castillan Perlas, to respond to the questions from our sectoral representatives. Okay. So for this particular segment of the open forum, each nominee shall be given 2 minutes to answer the question. A timer will again be used to alert the applicant regarding the lapse of their allotted time. A green sign will alert the applicant to start answering the question. A yellow sign will mean the applicant has 30 seconds left. A red sign will mean the time is up. And again, we are requesting our applicant to please keep to their time. May I request the first representative from our sector to ask their question to our applicant. May we request the audience to observe silence as we are conducting the Q&A portion to ensure that our applicant would clearly hear the question and eventually deliver an appropriate answer. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, sir. I am from SSCF po. This is our question po. The World Health Organization issued a statement that this pandemic might last for another year or two. As a president, what are your concrete plans to provide quality education distantly while ensuring that no student shall be left behind?
First, of course, we have to follow the issuances of the World Health Organization. And to produce or to continue what you are dreaming for, which is quality education, is of course by way of improving the learning management system. That is a platform. So we can do that online, and we are doing that right now. Yun lang. Thank you.
May we now hear the question from the faculty representative.
Magandang umaga po. So our concern is there are college lecturers that meet the minimum requirements. And what are your plans and program for this faculty which are delivering quality education?
So you're referring, sir, to college lecturers who are not possessing the necessary, what you call this, yung permit or yung license. So, ang maaari natin gawin yan is to help them. Ano mga kakulangan? This is the same way with yung program ng AMA, from enrollment to employment. What possible program? Anong gagawin natin para sila ay matulungan sa pangangailangan? So we have to dig deeper. Ano yung kakulangan nila to help them to be in permanent position? Because by 2022, as I understand, mawawala na lahat yan because that belongs to contractualization. So we have to dig deeper. Anong pangangailangan nila? Then let us help them to be in permanent position. Hindi natin sila iiwan. They are part of the organization. They are part of the college. Malaki ang nagagawa nila. So, if I will be given a chance, then we will look for the needed requirements na matutulungan ng kolehiyo. Anong mga pangailangan? That's it.
May we hear the question from the representative of the non-teaching personnel group.
Good morning, everyone. I am Leonardo Hogno, representing the non-teaching group of this institution. If chosen president, how will you leverage the non-teaching group in such a way that they won't feel that they are second-class citizens in this academy? Thank you.
Of course, we have to remove barriers why you are recognized as second-class citizen. We are one, and I hate people discriminating other workers. We should be one. We should be binded, because the college will not perform well without you. Akala lang nila sila yung first class. But it's very important to recognize what are your contributions. Ano ang nagagawa nyo? Is the college capable of performing the operation without you? So remove that in your mindset. Marami tayong gagawa, and I will help you to empower unionism for us to be partner in this institution. That's it.
Thank you very much. This time we'll hear the question from the representative of the alumni. We have the alumni trustee joining us via Zoom. We have Colonel Aaron Mendia. May we now hear the question from our alumni trustee, Honorable Aaron M. Mandia.
Amors, naka-mute si sir.
Hello. Good morning to everyone. A representative of the alumni. My question to all. When you become MSC president, please discuss your plan of action to fast-track the universityhood of the college. This being specific. Thank you very much.
Truly, as to statistics, or statistically wise, I am not fully aware of the requirements on how to transform this college to the university. But I guess using the aid of ISA, the institutional ISA. That's I guess that is the tool or standard that we have, that the accreditation team na sinusunod. Yun ang kailang pasiyan. There are people in this college na makakatulong. Hindi naman hindi ko sinasabing hindi ko kayang gawin yan because we have lots of people na pwedeng makatulong. The first step is to create the team. But I guess we are already 30% as to the requirements of this universityhood. Then, ipagpapatuloy lang. Ano pa yung mga kailangan? And we work for that. Kailangan talagang trabahuin. Parang, alam ko, meron itong time. May time na dapat ay makumpleto ng university nang ma-convert or rename the college to university. So, yung team, palalakasin natin yung team and we work as one. Pagtulong-tulungan natin ito. Kung kinakailangan, kumuha tayo ng consultant, then let us look for consultant na makakatulong para magawa rito. But isa lang ang may papangako ko. Pipilitin natin na by 2024 or before the end of term, maibitin natin dyan sa gate yung pangalan ng Marinduque State University. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Colonel Mandia. And finally, may we hear the question from the parents' representative.
Isang magandang umaga po sa ating lahat. Jane D po, representing parents community. Sir, my question is parang related din sa question ni Miss from student So I will just rephrase this. If ever po ba na kayo ang maging pangulo ng Marinduque State College University in the near future, maaasahan po ba namin mga magulang na kami makakalapit sa inyo or makakausap namin kayo ng maayos yung good term relationship between the President and us parents? Yun lang po. Salamat po.
Gaya na pag-inig kanina, hindi lang bounded of moral and ethical responsibility to handle para kayo makausap. Bilang tao, automatiko na talagang tungkulin namin na mapakinggan ang inyong mga hinaing. At dyan nagsisimula, dyan yung tinatawag natin input para mapabuti ang serbisyo namin. Look at Apple. Ang sabi na sa Apple, we grow because of your feedback. So napakalaga po mag-usap tayo. Napatunayan ko yan sa maraming eskwelahan na aking napagserbisyuhan. Ako po ay 23 taon sa serbisyo. At halos sa lahat ng pagkakataong iyon bilang guro, madalas kong kausap ang mga magulang. At kung hindi dahil sa kanila, hindi magiging maganda ang takbo ng paaralan. Actually, kayo at ang Alumni Association ang halos aming sandalan sa pagpapatakbo ng eskwelahan. Salamat.
Apologies, but we also have another sector who will be asking their question po. We request the representative from the local government units to throw in their question to our applicant.
Thank you very much. Good morning, sir. I am Councilor Orlan M. Milan-Miling, representing our Mayor of Mokpog, Honorable Augusto Leo M. Livelo. This is our question from the local government sector. If ever you assume as the President of MSC, how would you objectively address issues on office politics and pressures?
Kayo nilipid sir, medyo klaro yung batang huli.
Okay, sir. Again, if you become the President of the Marinduque State College, how would you objectively address issues on office politics and pressures?
Actually, that is part of the service. And never it is bureaucracy you can go away with politics. That is the part of our service. So how can I objectively manage this? Don't go away with specific guidelines. Huwag kang lalayo. And playing politics in service is good. Kinakailangan natin yan. Sapagkat if we will not be playing politics, then we cannot get support from them. Baka on the other side of it, ang iniisip nyo is maduming politika. What I am referring to is bahagi ng serbisyo ang politika. Kinakailangan natin sumabay, makipag-usap sa kanila, harapin, at higit sa lahat, huwag magsasalita na magiging against sa kanila sapagkat sila yung mga taong nangunguna sa pagbubog lalo sa paggawa ng mga batas. Kaya objectively manage this, hindi ganong issue para sa akin ang pagkasali ng politika sapagkat sila ay kabahagi ng pagtataguyod ng buong komunidad. Yun lang, sir.
Thank you very much, Councilor Minambini, and thank you very much, Dr. Perlas. This time, we will move for our applicants to answer the questions from our audience. As per instruction, the applicant shall pick 3 questions from the bowl, 3 questions, and the designated moderator shall read the questions twice, and the applicant shall have 2 minutes to answer each question.
Allow me to read first the question. Being the president of MSc, how would you organize the college regarding academic discipline? That maximizes the student performance and potentials.
I don't know what he is referring to academic discipline. So maybe it's in other areas, like for example in engineering, mathematics, and English. If he or she referring to that discipline, then andun naman po sa ating course syllabus yan. Andun lahat yan. And always, we must consider yung, we should not violate yung sinatawag nating academic freedom. Kinakailangan si professor, paano ituturo, paano niya ituturo, at sino ang kanyang tuturuan. So, hindi naman absolute na you are entitled to be in college. So, meron mga mechanism, meron mga parameters para pumasok ka. Kaya, napakahalaga na maging malinaw talaga ano nakalagay doon sa Constitution na yun, na hindi natin na-violate yung freedom ng professor, ng ating teacher sa pagtuturo. In that way, yung mga eskwela natin, tiyak ako na maiintindihan nila, maliwanagan kung ano yung kanilang pinag-aaral.
So this is the question. Among the 4 candidates, there is only one who have stated this specific plan to all the MSc branches in your goals and objectives. Others have stated it in general. May we hear from you what are your specific plans for each campus? Thank you and God bless.
Truly, I will accept that I am not insider, but rather I am outsider. I don't know the real picture of the Marinduque State College is. So to be honest, I have to study first. I have to look at the background. We have to have this called strategic planning. Kinakailangan, ano talaga yung mga pangailangan? Kasi sir, hindi naman pwede tayo na pagdating rito, gawin natin yan. So, give me at least 3 months. I'm a fast learner. Kaya natin gawin kung ano mga pangailangan at titiyakin natin, lalo tigit. Because yung first mandate natin is service. Ano ba talaga natin gawin? Ano expectations ng mga bata, ng mga eskwela sa atin after this post-high school institution? So I have to dig deeper, we have to create the team. Pag-aralan natin yan, and let us lay out in the table ano ang mga dapat gawin before the action will be taken. Thank you.
This is the question, the last question. How do you intend to harmonize the diversity of individuals in Marinduque State College, knowing that each such differences in views and perspective cause disunity among the members of the institution? Cause disunity among the members of the institution.
Actually, wala namang tayong sinasabi na big diversity o pagkakaiba-iba dito. We belong into one community. We're almost equal in many things. We came from the same race. Pero parang sinasabi natin, paano ang pagkakaiba-iba nito mga bata na ito? Paano nagkakaiba-iba? So, maaring economic status, family status, parang doon lang tayo nagkakaiba-iba. Kaya, yan ay magagawa sa pamagitan ng mental modeling. Pagpapatuloy, encourage na maka-frame tayo ng tamang mental model. Ano yun? Sa pamagitan na pagtanim natin sa isip natin na tayo, we Marinduqueños, bilang bumubuo ng komunidad na ito ay pare-parehas. At binibigyan tayo ng layak, lalo na yung pagiging makapagpahayag ng ating sarili bilang isang mag-aaral. So walang gaanong isyo na sinasabing naiiwalay at naiiba tayo sa ating kapwa. We both from this land. So tayo ay magkakaparehas lang. Nagkakaiba sa doon nga, sa pag-ikway na economic status.
On that note, we'd like to thank our first applicant, Dr. Elvin Castillan Perlas. So for our next applicant po, same set po ng sectors yung tatanong, same question din po. Ano po? This time, let's welcome the second applicant, Dr. Liza Marie Magahis Manoos, to answer the questions from the sectoral representatives and the audience. Again, the sequence for our sectoral representatives. First, students. Second, faculty. Third, non-teaching personnel. Fourth, alumni. Fifth, parents. And finally, the local government units. May we begin with the students' representative.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, ma'am. I am Joshua Lorenz Fronda, representing MSc students po. This is our question po. The World Health Organization issued a statement that this pandemic might last for another year or two. As a president, what are your concrete plans to provide quality education distantly while ensuring that no student shall be left behind?
When I assume the office of presidency, I will call the officials of the college, the teachers, the students, represented all sectors, so we will plan out to blend the implementation of modular teaching, use of radio wave and television wave to provide the students, to cater the students who could hardly connect to the internet. While for performance courses like physical education, laboratories in science courses, in shop work, in technology, we will offer the course in staggered basis, so that staggered basis face-to-face, so that the number of students will be controlled or regulated, maximum of 10. Because according to CHED, the performance courses cannot be offered remotely. So they encourage offering of performance courses face-to-face but with limited students. I hope I have answered your question.
May we hear the question from the representative of the faculty.
Morning, ma'am. Good morning, ma'am. So, our question is, so there are college lecturers that already met their minimum requirements and had been an MSc for more than a year. So what are your plan and programs for those college lecturers which they are also delivering a quality education?
Pardon, sir. What do you mean by they have been staying in less than a year in the MSc?
So they have been in MSc for more than a year.
So what are my specific plans for them in terms of benefits? So if in terms of benefits, I will ask the budget officer as well as the accountant whether we can provide them other benefits aside from their regular salaries, as long as it is legal. If it needs to be presented in the Board of Trustees, then we will do that, so that they will receive something at the end of the fiscal year and also at the middle of the fiscal year. As long as we follow financial discipline, wala tayo disallowed sa Commission on Audit.
Dito. Thank you very much. This time we'll have the question from the representative of the non-teaching personnel.
Good morning once again. I am Leonardo Hugno, representing the non-teaching personnel. And before I raise my question, I would like to wish you good luck. And here is your question. How will you leverage the non-teaching group in such a way that they won't feel that they are second-class citizens in this academy? Thank you, Paul.
First of all, there are no first class nor second class in this organization. We treat everyone equally. So, everyone has their roles to be done. Now, whatever our job descriptions are, we have to do them religiously and faithfully with quality excellence. So, my administration won't let the personnel to feel that they are second-rate group in MSC.
This time, we will hear the question coming from the alumni representative. May we request our alumni representative, Honorable Aaron Mandia, to throw in the question to our applicant.
Once again, good morning. This is my question. When you become MHC President, please discuss your plan of action to fast-track the universityhood of the college. Please be specific.
Okay. As of the report of CHED in June of 2018, MSC was able to comply only with 6 out of 20 requirements for universityhood. This time, as soon as I assume office, we will reactivate the committee to attend to the requirements for universityhood, like requiring the faculty members who are on scholarship to finish their programs up to this school year only. Why up to this school year only? Because they are already writing their paper, either thesis or dissertation. For researches, we will collaborate with other universities here in the Philippines and outside the country to publish research output of the faculty and the personnel, because that is one of the requirements for universityhood. In terms of extension projects, we will see to it that the extension projects will be a transfer of technology, a newly generated knowledge. In terms of facilities, we will continue and improve more the existing facilities of the college, like science laboratories and other workshops.
Thank you very much, Colonel Mandia. This time, we will hear the question coming from the parents.
Hello, ma'am. Good morning po. From the parent sector, kung sakali po na kayo ang magiging pamulo ng Marinduque State College University in the future, makakaasa po ba kaming mga magulang na kami po ay madaling makakapag-ipag-usap po sa inyo ng personal?
Napakalaking oo po ang sagot. Kung sakali ako ang maging pangulo ng MSC, ang lahat po ng sectors ay iimbitahin ko na makipag-usap ng personal sa opisina kahit ito ay hindi tungkol sa problema. Mas maganda po yung madalas na pag-uusap ng MSC at ng stakeholders.
Thank you po. And finally, we have the question from the representative of the local government units.
Again, thank you very much. Good morning, Doc Manaos. So here's the question from the LGU sector. If ever you become the MSC president, how would you address objectively political issues in the office and as well as pressure?
Politics exists in all organizations, but then administrators should not be pressured by politics. It's just a matter of flexibility, social relations. We should not put prejudice on quality of education, the management, and of legal. We should be accountable in every move that we will execute.
Thank you very much po. So we're done with the sectoral representative. This time, may I invite on stage the assigned moderator, Professor Delito Ruiz, so that our applicant can pick three questions from the poll. So these questions po are from our audience. And again po, our applicant has 2 minutes to answer each question.
Good morning. This is the question. 2020 marks the centennial year of the province, but since the worldwide pandemic and natural calamities now, do we move forward? And how do we move forward given this context? What is your ideal golden age or era for the Marinduque State College? I repeat the question. 2020 marks the centennial year of the province, but since the worldwide pandemic and natural calamities, how do we move forward given this context? What is your ideal golden age for the Marinduque State College?
As declared by the provincial government, this year, their term, the current term, is the start of Marinduque's golden age. For me, all the eras or all the periods are precious. They are all golden because these are given by our great provider. So we just move forward, adapting the new ways for the new normal so that we would go on traversing the path of life.
The second question, ma'am. If you would win as MSC President, what major change would you implement? I repeat the question, ma'am. If you would win as MSC President, what major change would you implement?
Considering the Sustainable Development Goals of the United Nations, as well as the goals of the ASEAN, we will engage with transnational education more.
For your last question, ma'am. If you will be chosen president, what will be the future of MSC in your hands in the next 3 years? I repeat the question. If you will be chosen president, what will be the future of MSC in your hands in the next 3 years?
I foresee MSC with the students and teachers and faculty, going to other universities or places, collaborating in terms of instruction, research, and extension. I also envision that we will generate income out of the projects that we will implement to augment the the budget allocated by the national government. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Manos. We'd like to inform the audience that all questions gathered from the audience are in the bowl including those questions gathered from the Google form uploaded in our official Facebook page. So all of these questions na hindi matatanong today will be asked in the panel interview tomorrow on by 8 o'clock in the morning via Zoom. Thank you. This time, let's all welcome the third applicant for the MSc Presidency, Dr. Diosdado Pereda Zulueta. Again, this is the sequence of the questions from our sectoral representatives. First, the students. Second, faculty. Third, non-teaching personnel. Fourth, alumni. Fifth, parents. And finally, from the local government units. May we have the question from the students' representative.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, sir. This is our question po. The World Health Organization issued a statement that this pandemic might last for another year or two. As a president, what are your concrete plans to provide quality education distantly while ensuring that no student shall be left behind?
This is a question.
The World Health Organization issued a statement that this pandemic might last for another year or two. As a president, what are your concrete plans to provide quality education distantly while ensuring that no student shall be left behind?
That is in my platform already, and what we're going to do is to have the flexible learning strategies. Flexible learning and other modalities like TV, television, like Google Classroom, like modules, manuals, and for those, because in my statistics you can see that we have percentages wherein we have dead zone areas in different municipalities. To that effect, we need to prepare a very good module, manuals, etc., in order that no one will be left behind. Some faculty members, especially the School of Government, is doing so by delivering different manuals for that purpose. But of course, the safety of our students is the first and foremost consideration that we'll consider. In order to do that, we need to really, the paradigm of the normal should be followed. Thank you.
May we hear the question from the representative of the faculty.
Good morning. Good morning, sir. So this is about the college lecturers that meet their minimum requirements and have been an MSc for more than a year, serving and delivering quality education. What will be your plans and programs for these faculties?
As a matter of fact, we cannot go on with this pandemic because there are so many increased enrollment at this time that we need to hire, whether we like